So I'm pretty disappointed starting this video because I just finished um, playing a really good game, a good Grunfeld, uh, a really instructive game, and my recording software bugged out and didn't save the video. So that's a big bummer. Um, Philidor, I don't know why people play this. I was surprised to see actually Grishuk played it in his Chess 24 Banter Blitz during the. Let's see what do I do here. I think Bishop F4 uh, during the World Championship, and even he said it's not a great opening. So and I know of him as being a player who um, always plays really sharp chess, like Najdorf's and Grunfeld's, and Philidor is just kind of bad for black. So um, didn't really understand why. He's one of my heroes actually. Uh, I love the way that he plays super sharp openings. So, but yeah, basically just go for this dragon type setup, this Yugoslav attack, and uh, should be and you have a great position against black. Yeah, let him trade off his bishop if he wants. Expecting a rook here. I'll just castle. Knight here, just drop the bishop back. Then that gives me g4 with tempo. But yeah, I played a really good game, really instructive. um, Grunfeld, and lost the video, and that's happened a number of times. I just used free um, this free software called Debut, and yeah, I guess you get what you pay for. I guess he wants d5. My plan is to play h5 followed by g5. I wanted to get an h5 first so that he didn't have knight a5. Rook would be protecting it. Knight h5. Yeah, again, I guess he wants d5. My plan is just to play knight e4, and don't really see what he's got going on. Meanwhile, I have g5 and f6 looming. Wait, I think he had to play rook e8 to have anything concrete. But this looks great for me. Dark squared bishop, all these pawns on light squares. Got the bishop pair. Yeah, so let's see. Does something like that. Actually, now that that knight's gone, I just play here. h6, g6, fg, fg. Bishop c5. Bishop c4 check. King h8 looks bad because the h file will be open. I just swing my queen over to here and it's done. So then king f8, bishop h6, check. Actually, there, and rook takes. Yeah, that looks great. Okay. I should really check other variations here, but I don't know, they all look good. Oh, I won't have the H file open. Shoot. Miscalculation there. So yeah, g6 takes, bishop c4, check. Yeah. What if I play bishop c4 now? Hmm. Ah, you know what? Bishop c4, bishop c4, b5 here. Knight can't go there because bishop will have a pin. So let's start with that. So now rook here, down pawn takes, now knight here. Knight here doesn't work because bishop takes. Yeah, I was actually, before I saw that the knight was pinned, I was actually even considering sacking with the knight, but it doesn't seem like it quite works. King can move preemptively. It's actually not a bad move. So he does. Yeah, but now I'm overjoyed to open up the F file. Pretty simple idea here. Just want to give a discovered check. Yeah, so he steps out of the way. And the only move that's really making sense to me is bishop here. I need to get rid of... Oops. I kind of need to get rid of this defender. Well, I mean, I need to get my queen in. So takes, and takes. Um, the idea being that he needs to move his queen somehow, but it's tied to the defense of this. He needs to move his queen to protect the king, and yeah, I don't know. Looks fine. Looks correct. Might not be as big of an advantage as I was hoping for. If he does nothing, then I have this check, and my queen is blocking all these squares, so the king will have to move back into the discovery here. In which case, if I move here, queen there, bishop can come back and pick up the queen. Oh, didn't expect that. Probably because it's a bad move. Yeah, in fact, it loses a piece. And an exchange. So takes, blocks. That's the only move. And then I can even just leave it there. And play something like this. Yeah, so start with this. And then I think maybe even this. But he can pick up the bishop and the piece back, which I don't like. But you know what? I've got something even better here. Yeah, I think I can just win a whole rook now. And this should be enough for a checkmate. I mean, a game over. This pawn and this bishop, just killing it. Queen here next. Queen there. Threat being probably queen here or queen there. Hopefully enticing him to trade queens. And then I'll just be up a rook and a piece. So yeah, let's see. Like I was saying, Philidor, not a very good opening. I'm not sure about this knight f5 move, but sort of the idea was that he's got all these weak light squares, and in particular f6, f7 is juicy. I think he needed to play along the open e file. I mean, that's the whole thing. The reason why the Philidor is... Oh, okay, so he's going there. Okay. not really thinking anymore. I can go ahead and take that pawn, but it's going to be checkmate pretty soon here. Okay, so let's focus here. Yeah, I can just... I can just force a queen trade here, so I might as well. Just gotta go back, and then I get this fork with the queen. So he's gonna have to take. If king there, loses the rook. Okay. So he would like to lose a rook. Do I have anything better? Maybe. This is good enough. Yeah, the problem with this is he doesn't have enough for a perpetual. Yeah. Alright, let's take a look. And sorry, buddy. I don't really like rematches because I don't know. I've just had too many experiences where people, you know, play much better in the rematch and suspiciously better. So I don't know. It seems like people are overly attached to their rating and just do whatever it takes to get that rating back. But I don't know. So as a policy, I don't really do rematches, but occasionally I do. Okay, so they didn't like c5, and they didn't like knight f5. Yeah, I thought c5 was surprising as well. I don't really see it this early. But then, looks like I gave away my advantage. Um, didn't like h4. Thought I should just castle. Interesting. Oh, I'm white. I was reading this backward. What did it think about h6? Thought h6 was okay. Yeah, that should just be huge. Yeah, it's game over there. Okay. So, yeah, c5. I didn't like knight f5. But it might be 3. Might be 3, really. Yeah, I don't know. Just seems really passive. And then it even says black is better here. It says it needs d5 right away. Yeah, I'm sort of surprised if you wanted d5 why you went through all the trouble of preparing it with why you went through all the trouble of preparing it with rook d8. Yeah, rook d8 is just totally wrong. So what I started saying in the game is that the reason why uh, the Sicilian Dragon is at least playable and the Philidor is not is because if you do this Yugoslav attack um, against the Sicilian, then black has the open c file, and that gives him counterplay against the white king. But in the Philidor, you only have the e file, so the king, is can be pretty safely tucked away on the king side. So the e file doesn't really generate that much counterplay. That being said, you still have to use the open e file, and instead, black was just choosing to, push the d pawn, which, you know, I just knew it was wrong the whole time. It seemed like, and as you can see, he's trading basically his pushing of the d pawn for my pushing of the g and h pawns, which wound up, which were directly against his king. And granted, was my king was still in the center, but it was just one move away from castling. So, whoops. So it was effectively, there. I didn't like h4 though. I did want to just long castle and play knight c6, and then he goes up. But I don't know. Felt like just going for it. d5. Didn't like h5 either. Wanted this, which yeah, isn't really doesn't look like too attacking, and I like to attack. So d4. Once I'm yeah, I get what he was doing with this by playing preemptively, prophylactically, but the whole thing is if you're going to take with the f pawn, you don't want to be you don't want your king on the f file. So that was just, I think, a big mistake there. They didn't like rook f1 though. Interesting. So what's the computer's top choice? Okay, computer saying bishop g3, queen f2. Bishop g3, huh? Queen f2. Okay. I mean, what's the idea there? The idea is to just grab some pawns and then push. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that particular line, but I guess the idea with bishop g3 was to get the queen in there and scoop up those pawns and then push your own pawn. So then, let's see, what's next? So it doesn't really like rook f1, doesn't like bishop g5, first queen f2, and then that was just a huge blunder. Yeah, I mean, I saw that it was hanging, but this move didn't even cross my radar because, well, like I was saying in the game, the queen was tied to the fence of this piece. So I got to take it with check, and then everything just completely fell apart after that. So yeah, that was the game, and I learned a little bit with that knight f5 maneuver and the bishop taking. I should just play knight b3 instead. Yeah, let me check the opening book on that actually. Bishop e2 they play? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This is just the setup that I always go for. So yeah, this doesn't really get played at all. And this was the other move I was considering. I didn't even think about bishop b3, or knight b3. And I know that you're supposed to do that in like certain Najdorf lines, but I don't know. I never fully understood what to do there. It seems like they're just, you know, begging to get kicked around by this pawn storm. So yeah, maybe we'll have to study some games where they're doing that. But anyway, I learned a bit there about not going for this because it gives black the advantage right away um, after c5. Not going here. But yeah, other than that, just a typical Philidor where black is for the most part worse, and just hoping not to get crushed by this pawn storm. And as you can see, black was a little better at certain points, but I think it's just harder to play. This is harder to play for black, so if both people are roughly the same strength, like my opponent and I, then white's the one with the real advantage. So anyway, yeah, I hope you learned something too, and I'll see you next time.